We're looking at is right on the critical level now. It's at 18. Remember I said it goes below 18? They just don't survive. Can I qualify this? So albumin is critical. We actually can give albumin from another dog called frozen plasma.
Yep.
But it's going to be very expensive. Expensive means one injection of it's around $2,000. And it only works for 12 hours.
Yep.
Right? So normally, when a dog gets down to 18, I go back to the owner and say, guys, we don't want to get below that. I need to give them the plasma. In most of these cases, we're dealing with those small dogs, 5, 10 kilos. Your dog is 40 kilos, okay? Certainly if it goes any lower than this, I'm going to have to guys seriously, if you want to try and pull him through, you're going to have to give him the plasma. Right? But it's very, very expensive. At 18, I'm going to go, I don't know, yeah. So normally, yes, a small dog, I'd be going, let's give it to him. Big dog, I'm going to go, it's certainly not at this stage, I don't see any reason to euthanize him or anything else, okay? I don't see any reason to pull the green needle out and go, he's going to definitely lose. He just needs time. So the good part about it is his liver's better. So his liver has come from 3,000 units.
Yep. Because it was well above where it should be.
It shouldn't be above 200. So he was about 3,500 last time.
Yeah.
Now he's down to around 1,500.
Half. More greater than half. Okay.
That's right. So it means that the liver is stopped being irritated. Things are starting to come right in some areas.
Yeah.
Right. His white cells, his ability to heal, he's now responding, which is good. He wasn't responding the other day, so but now his body's starting to respond. In other words, it's trying to heal itself.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. The bad thing is the albumin.
So his body hasn't given up. It's trying to still do it.
That's right. His body's hanging in there. Right. But at the moment, he's still losing that albumin at a rapid rate.
And that's produced from
the liver.
The liver.
And the critical part is at 18. After that, he can't keep the fluid in his blood supply.
He's at 18 now.
That's right. He's right on the critical level. So this is where I would be going to a normal person and saying, guys, we've got to give him the plasma. Okay. The trouble is the plasma actually only works for 12 hours.
Yep.
And therefore, sometimes you've got to use it twice a day, and I've had to use it only up to a week.
Yep.
Okay, to pull some dogs through. Some dogs only need one go. Certainly, if like today, if we continue, if you send him home, he's not going to win. Okay, so he definitely has to stay with me. That's no doubt about that at all. We have to keep this fluid up in his blood supply, and I can do that with the drips. I can't do that at home.
Yeah.
Okay. So he definitely needs to stay with me. But at this stage, if we're not going with the plasma, we need to do another blood test tomorrow, because if he's dropping right out, so tomorrow if he's at 14,
yeah, I understand.
I'm going to go, we either give him the plasma or you're not going to win.
Yeah.
Okay, you're just going to waste your money.
Yeah.
So right at the moment, if he gets no lower than this, that's fine. But if he gets lower, remember the other day was at 22. So the first day we tested him, 27.
First day of 27, and he went to 22?
And he went to 22, now he's down to 18. So 22 is where you get worried, 18 is critical.
Even though the liver's essentially healing in a way, but yeah, okay.
The liver's still got to make it.
Yeah.
You know, just because the liver is getting better, it's still not right.
It's still way out.
Yeah.
And at the moment, he's still losing lots and lots and lots of fluid into those tissues. And if you saw him urinate today, if you actually saw the amount of fluids we're giving him to what he's urinating out.
Doesn't compare.
No, not at all. Yeah. And his urine is quite yellow. It's quite concentrated.
Yeah.
So normally by now, if he was fine, it'd be like water he's urinating out. And a bit like if you drink a lot of water, your urine goes clear. Okay. And that's because he's losing the fluid into the tissue. That in itself is not a problem, other than he's losing the fluid into the tissues. Therefore, his blood's getting thicker, and that's why we need to have him on the drip. That's why we need to. Okay. And that's what the plasma is all about. The plasma is to hold the fluid in the blood supply. Right? So, right now, we have 4 options. Number 1, we can just take the drip out and send him home, and he'll be die.
Yep.
Right? Number 2, he stays with me, and we just continue as we are for another 24 hours, and then we do another blood to see where we're going. Number 3 is that we give him the plasma. Negative side, it's going to knock the shit out of them. It really is. It makes them very sick. Okay, this comes from another dog like a blood transfusion.
Yeah.
Okay, they get quite ill on it, but they get over that. Alright. But the negative side is the cost. It's just bloody expensive. There's no way around that. And the fourth option is called euthanasia. Now, I do not think he needs to be put to sleep. Alright, that's a decision only you guys can make. It's not my recommendation. I don't recommend we just send him home.
Yeah.
So 2 recommendations: either stays with me for another 24 hours and we do what we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. I do have a couple of other tricks up my sleeve that may or may not work, and we hope by Christ they do. Or we give them the plasma. So if money's starting to really play a role, then go just leave the plasma alone and let's go for another 24 hours and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't think we'll be able to afford the plasma.
You want to give us 5, Rob?
Of course you can. Yeah. I'll come back. You guys stay.
Okay.
Alright, cheers.